Hello YouTubers, it's Championdjk coming at you again with another weekly episode. Tonight is Friday. This episode will be put on the YouTube channel and uploaded tomorrow, Saturday. So, picked up a couple of things this week. Not too much. I did actually find a couple of things in store. No chases. I'm on a dry spell for chases for a while. Mostly because I haven't been able to hunt. Which is okay. It's fine. I will hunt again. Live to hunt another day. It's just tough, you know, 2 kids and job and all that stuff. It's gotten, I don't know, just a little tough to go out there and really hunt. But it will happen again. I'll get the itch again and you know, hopefully find some cool stuff in the wild. But I did find 2 things that I was happy about. Both of them are 5-packs. I found this Matchbox Blue Highways 5-pack, which has got some really cool cars in it. Some very nice Matchbox. Of course, pardon the glare, we will look at, I'll open this up and we'll look at each car, of course, in the second half of this video. So, was excited to find this one. This is a brand new 5-pack from Matchbox. And, it's a good one. It's a really good one. So there's 5 pretty good looking cars in there for sure. So we'll take a look at that. And then other 5-pack I found was this guy, the Speed Blur one. And of course there's really probably only one reason why anybody would buy this pack, and it's that Datsun Bluebird 510 wagon. So I was excited to find that. The truck on the bottom is somewhat cool too, but it's just so way out of scale. But that is kind of an oddball casting from Hot Wheels. It's kind of cool. Monster Dairy Delivery, and then these other 2 that I really don't care about. What is it? The Team Hot Wheels Corkscrew and the Dodge XP 07. Dodge XP 07. Was that some sort of concept car? I guess so, huh? I don't know. Anyway, we're going to open that up in the second segment and take a look at it. And then I busted out 2 5-packs that, one each, Matchbox and a Hot Wheels one, just to kind of compare to the current 5-packs. Not really, I mean, they're way different, but just needed to add a little bit more content to the video, so I picked these up to open. This is the Flag Flyers 5-pack, which has got a couple of cool models in it. The Lamborghini Countach, Toyota MR2, there's a Vet in it, there's a Porsche in it, and then there's a Land Rover in it. So that is pretty awesome. So we'll go ahead and open up that one. And then I grabbed a Matchbox one. This is the Storm Trackers. This one also has some pretty cool castings in it. It's got a VW bus. It's got a VW Bug. It's got that sweet, what is it, a Bronco down there with the whip antenna. So we'll take a look at this 5-pack in the second segment as well. So we're going to open up that one too. So there's 20 cars to look at already in the second segment. I did get some mail actually today, which is great, because if I didn't get this mail, I really wouldn't have much to look at this week. But one of the items is a Kyosho. You guys know I've been on a Kyosho import diecast kind of kick lately. I was really happy to get this because I have like the 70s, the 73 or whatever, I think it's a 73 Trans Am from Kyosho. And now I got the 77 in yellow. Wish I could have got this car in the black and gold, like the Bandit style Trans Am. It's available red, yellow, and black. But when the black one comes up, they're very pricey. But I was just excited to get one example of this. You guys know I'm a Firebird collector, so I was really happy to get this thing for a very, very reasonable price. I will go ahead and open this up. We'll take a look at it. We'll get it off of the base. We'll take a close look at it. I'll pull up my other Trans Am too to take a peek at. And maybe I'll even pull out, since Greenlight, I think Greenlight and Johnny Lightning both have done a 77. So maybe I could pull those 2 out as well, and we can kind of compare those to the Kyosho. Kind of when I did like an American Kyosho car versus domestic brand video. We'll kind of do that in the second segment of this video and kind of compare the cars and kind of compare the brands of diecast. When we're comparing apples to apples, it's easier to look at the detail from the different manufacturers. But even though U.S. manufacturer really isn't Kyosho's forte, They haven't done much. They've only done a couple of series, and I'll show you all the cars that are actually in the series because they're pictured on this box. So what was in this American series? So pretty cool. We'll take a look at that. And as usual, the seller sent me a origami crane. So maybe you guys don't want to see this, but I'm going to open it up. Usually I keep his cranes folded. Pull the head out. And open it. Pretty cool. So there's that. And then from another eBay seller, I picked up some older Greenlight. I was excited to find these at cheap prices. The guy combined shipping. It was a great seller. Combined shipping really reasonable. These were buy it now prices, so these were only $5 a piece, which is really lower than retail. And even with the shipping charge that he charged me for these 5 cars, it ended up being lower than you'd buy a Greenlight car at like Meijer or something like that. So I was happy about that. And then, so these are the ones I picked up. Believe it or not, I did not have this Anchorman van from Greenlight Hollywood. This is Hollywood Series 5. So I picked that up. I did not have that Dodge van, so I am happy to have that for sure. And then I picked up this Mecum auction block. This is auction block Series 12 Corvette. So if you guys aren't aware, the way I am attempting to collect Greenlight is I kind of am attempting to get one example of every tooling number, and I'll show you the tooling numbers on the bases of these. But all of these are older Greenlight, with the exception of this one. I think they all have the green post. So they used to, every Greenlight had one green post, one green painted rivet. And the older ones have that. And the older Greenlight is just such good quality. So this is the 67 Ford Mustang GT. This is from Muscle Car Garage when they did the stock and custom. This is the stock version. But they did have the custom version too. But this is from, what is it? Muscle Car Garage Series 5. So these would have came out around 2008. So of course we're going to open up all these in the second segment. Custom 1968 Plymouth Roadrunner. So that's the custom, not the stock version. So in this series they came out with stock and custom versions of each tooling. And I just picked up the ones, he had a bunch of them from the same series. I picked up the ones that I just thought looked the coolest. So then here was that. And of course I gravitated towards toolings that I don't have. So I had to grab those. I snagged those up and just picked up 5 of them. I think he still has a few more, but not too many. I don't know if he's going to revive his stock at all. It looks like it was a seller that doesn't just sell diecast. He must sell a bunch of other stuff too. So who knows if this was just a collection that he ended up with and ended up selling. Which sometimes those are the best eBayers to get things from, because they don't really, they're just making a profit. They don't really go and research all the products that they sell, so they usually have really fair prices, mostly because they just kind of throw stuff up there, $5 a piece, whatever. So that was really cool to pick up these 5 cars at a very good price. So we're gonna flip the camera around. We're going to take a look at these cars up close. We'll see if we can keep this one under 40 minutes this week. We're only at 9 minutes now. So let's flip it around and take a look and see what happens. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so let's start with a little Kyosho Firebird action. So this is the Pontiac Firebird. As you can see, they don't specify what year it actually is. Which they don't do that a lot actually with Kyosho. A lot of them don't have the year on them. But just to take a look at what else is available in this particular series, this is USA Sports Car Minicar Collection. I think this is the first series of it. Could be wrong. This might be the second one, but actually, it might say actually on this. Let's see. Yeah, it just says Minicar Sports Car Collection. Again, those are the other 3 colors that this Firebird would be available in. But here's what else is available in the series. You get a couple of racing Corvettes, C6Rs, Celine S7, That casting looks a little weird. I seen that one on eBay, and I was tempted to get it, but the wheel wells look a little weird, like the tires sit too far in. Corvette, I've got that one in my collection. I've got a blue Viper in my collection. So now I got this yellow one here. I would love to get a Mach 1. That would be cool. The Camaro, I've got a Camaro in my collection, but let's see, that's the SS, that's the Z28. I've got the orange, I believe it's the orange Z28. Yeah, I've got that one in my collection. Would love to get a Ford GT40. This is the Mark II, and I believe they have the original one as well. And then the Shelby Cobra would be pretty cool to get too. So I think this is Minicar Collection Series 1. I think there is also a Series 2. And I could have them flip-flop, but I think it is just 2 Kyosho series. But pretty cool. They may not be as cool to me as some of the other like European cars, European sports cars and stuff like that, like your Ferraris and stuff. Just because, it's more reason why I collect this brand really is because, well, one, they're greatly detailed, and then secondly, it's because they make highly detailed cars that you can't get in any other brand. Like you can get the cars in like Hot Wheels and stuff, but you can't get them detailed or premium. So here's a quick look around this. This is the 77 Trans Am. You can tell that by the front end of the vehicle. We're going to go ahead and unscrew it from the base. The original Bandit Trans Am. So again, these are really easy to take off of the base. Get some of that out of there. Ooh, this one's a pretty good roller too. Kyosho's kind of a crapshoot when it comes to whether or not the car is going to roll really well. And so here it is. So you've got these inserts in the front. These like headlight chrome inserts, which are pretty cool. You got the chicken on the hood. You got side mirrors on this one, which are like an added piece. Would be cool if they had a little reflective thing in there. You got the rear of the car here. Pretty highly detailed. Does look kind of fairly basic. Big, kind of lots of tire there. Not sure if that's super accurate, but these should be fairly close to 1/64 scale. Here's a look at the base. Really cool little car. I am definitely glad to add this Trans Am to the collection. I did bring out, so this is the other Kyosho. This is from a different series. This must be from Series 2, or I have them flip-flopped and it's from Series 1. I'm not really sure. But this is the more like the 73 Trans Am. I think that's an accurate year for it. Pretty cool inserts again in the front. I've shown this car in a previous video. Love the silhouette of this car. Just looks great. This one, pretty detailed bottom, which they don't normally put a lot of details on the bases, but these American cars kind of got a lot of detail on them for whatever reason. And pretty cool looking Trans Am. This one's a good roller too. Not that you would want to race it down a track. It's pretty lightweight because it has a plastic base, but is pretty cool nonetheless. But then we can compare. So this is your 77 Trans Am from Kyosho. This would be your 77 Trans Am from Johnny Lightning. It's got T-top. This one also features an opening hood, of course. I selected this one out of my collection just because it was yellow, and since we're looking at yellow, we might as well look at a yellow one from Johnny Lightning. This one does have rubber tires, metal body, metal base. The one thing I don't really care for in this tooling is sometimes the hood doesn't sit flat on it, and that's pretty common for this tooling. The other thing is that this little wing piece that is a separate component, this plastic bit, doesn't always look correct on the back. It usually has like a little, see that right there, that little gap. So it doesn't always look correct on these. These recently got released too in the newest Johnny Lightning Classic Gold series that's coming out. There is a Trans Am, this tooling, and I think it is a 77 as well. with that front end. There's variations of this tooling, so they have the 77, and then they have like the 78s and 79s and 80s that have the different, like the 4 headlight front end, not the cat eye look. So, but yeah, I think it is the 77 that's coming out. I could be wrong, but pretty cool. It's got the bird on the sail panel. I think that's what that's called. This one does too. Might be a little out of scale, but it's really hard to say, because Auto World does not make a true 1/64 scale version of the 77. They don't do that one. They do the 75 and the 76, which are different looking cars. This not hugely different looking, but different looking nonetheless. Here's the Greenlight 77. The one gripe that I and many people have with the Greenlight version of this Trans Am is how skinny it is. It just doesn't look like it's the correct width. If you take a look at this, actually it might be hard to tell on camera, but this car looks a lot wider than this one. And for some reason this one looks really skinny. Lengthwise, they are actually pretty much right on, believe it or not. So, I don't know. What do you guys think? I mean, this one looks really cool because it's the Black Bandit version. These also have an opening hood, which I'm just not even going to attempt right now. And it's got the T-top. But take a look at the differences. I think the Kyosho definitely takes the cake on it. It looks a lot better than it. There's some bits of this tooling that just look a little weird. And the rear end is one of them. And then when you look at it straight on the front, it looks a little weird too, because it's too skinny. That's what I think. So that's my opinion. So check it out. What did you guys think about this Kyosho? I think it's pretty cool. And we took up 7 minutes talking about it, so this video is probably going to be long again. So let's go through some Greenlight real quick. We're on kind of a Greenlight. So this is the Channel 4 News Team Dodge van. Anchorman, the Legend of Ron Burgundy. So let's open that up. I know you guys have seen this before, and I know also that, yes, okay, so there's been a couple of different Anchorman vans. They kind of came out, I think, at the same time, the Hot Wheels one and the Greenlight one. So there was a Retro Entertainment Hot Wheels one that's pretty cool. I've got that one too. I didn't bring it out to really look at, but it is pretty cool. But it is your standard Dodge van. Tooling from Greenlight. Pretty cool. It's pretty basic though, and I know you guys have seen it, so we don't really have to spend too much time on it, but pretty neat. And then let's take a look at these. So I'm excited about these older Greenlights. This Mecum auction one. This is the 2008 Chevy Corvette 427. This car sold apparently for $80,000 at Mecum. That would have been circa 2000, probably 10. This car I think came out in 2011. Lots of layers of packaging here. Greenlight, okay, Greenlight, I will say, is still doing cool stuff. They definitely are doing cool stuff and doing different things. They got a niche. They're not doing what every other diecast company is doing, and I think that is absolutely fantastic. However, I think older Greenlight stuff just shows quite a bit of quality difference than the new stuff. I mean, this car feels heavy. It's got that green post right up there. It's number 411. They also used to be a lot more limited, I believe, than they are now. And according to Travis, Heavy Metal 164, they did move factories. So they used to be made in Dongguan, Guangdong. That's hilarious. And I don't think they're not made there anymore, at least. But look at this. Look at the detail in there. I didn't bring out the macro lens for today's episode, but maybe someday I'll do an old Greenlight versus new Greenlight video. And this one's really nice, man. It's got the Corvette logo on the engine block, and it just looks really good. The paint is really good. The hood shuts, the fit and finish, as you would say, looks awesome. It's got little lens details on the front here, which I don't know when the last time this tooling came out, but I actually would like now to compare a newer release of it to this release, to this older release. Just looks really good. This is a really good looking vet, so I'm glad I picked this one to check this Corvette off of my tooling catalog. So these have tooling numbers on them. This one also has side mirrors, which is cool. The side mirrors are I think they're actually metal. It's hard to tell. Maybe they are plastic. Oh, and they actually do have the reflective paint or whatever on the back side of it. That's kind of a cool feature. It's hard to tell if these are, I mean, the door is metal. I think these are cast metal. Yeah, they are. So that's really nice. And these have, does this have the tooling number printed in the base? It does. So this is GL008. So that's how you know what tooling it is. And there's a lot of, they vary their tooling. Like there'll be a lot of different variations of that Corvette. That tooling number will specify a lot of different years of vet, and they'll slightly change up the tooling for different stuff. So this is the 67 Ford Mustang GT. This is in the Muscle Car Garage, Series 5. This is a cool series to collect. These older Muscle Car Garage cars. The one complaint about these Greenlights has always been the steamroller tires. Yes, the tires are way too fat for this 1/64 scale casting, but and you can see that right there. I mean, that's a giant tire. But other than that, I mean, the quality of these cars, this one does not suffer from the wide tire problem, by the way. The quality of these cars is just really, really good compared to the newer, more mass-produced stuff. I should have looked at how many cars were actually made in this line, but I know it's definitely going to be lower. This one's number 2801. Again, you got the green post right there. That's a nice-looking Mustang. Not quite as nice as the Auto World version, I don't think, of this car. And Auto World does do, I think they do, the car they do is a 67. Maybe it's a 65, I'm not sure. But really, really, really nicely detailed. Really nice car. You know, aside from those big steamroller tires, it's really cool. And quality stuff. Alright, so moving on, we got another Mustang. Here is the custom 68 Ford Mustang GT. Coincidentally, I believe this is the same tooling number as that one there. And again, you got the big fat steamroller tires. I love these rims though. On these, I got another Greenlight car with these rims, and it looks really good. But here's this Mustang. Of course, opening hood. Let's see if they have the same hood or engine tooling. No, they have different motor. But I believe if we look on the bottom, this is tooling number GL025C. Oops. This is GL025. So are the bases the same? Yeah, it looks like the bases are pretty much tooled identically. The front of the car is very close, and then obviously you've got like a fastback and a notchback kind of situation going on. And this one's got a little bit of paint flaw on the side, but other than that, it's a really cool looking Greenlight car. I don't know, it's just the look of these two. They just looked cooler. Early Greenlight stuff, so I'm a big fan of it. So anytime I see older Greenlight now, I definitely, if they're cheap, you know, or very affordable, I'm definitely going to go ahead and pick them up. Then we got the custom 68 Plymouth Roadrunner. Get that one out of the package. Pretty wide tires on this one too. This is GL029. 3211 is the number on this one. just a cool casting, man. It looks really great on those rims. This one should have a nice opening hood. Look at the nice detail in there. It's just the feeling of these is really more like an auto roll car. They're heavy. They have a really just heavy, solid quality to them. It's hard to explain it. You just got to kind of have one in your hand to know what I'm talking about. So I don't know if they changed exactly what the makeup of the metal alloy is that they used for the tooling or what, but just the feeling of the cars, they definitely, and maybe I should get a little scale out or something and weigh them, like take two of the same toolings from different manufacturing facilities and then weigh them and see the difference. But they just have a different feel to them. They feel solid. The paint looks and kind of feels a little bit different too than a modern Greenlight. So something they had back then was definitely done right. And it's kind of the reason why I like Auto Roll too, because Auto Roll kind of has the same kind of feel to it. You can't really tell unless you get these out of the package and roll them around. But maybe I'm way off base and this is some sort of psychological thing, but I don't know. In my experience, that's what it's been. So pretty cool. All right, so next up and last up, you still got a lot of cars to look at. 5-packs. All right, so let's start with Matchbox 5-packs, and the first thing we're going to do is this Blue Highways one. Let's go ahead and get this thing open. Man, I don't know how people open these things and reseal them and steal cars out of them. Like, you're going to see a lot of that Dots and Bluebird being stolen out of that Speed Blur pack. I'm sure you're going to see a lot of those with random cars in them, which is too bad and unfortunate, and those people are cheap and whatever, but it's tempting, right? But I don't think I have the patience to rip open these 5-packs without destroying them. All right, so here is your Mercedes to start with. I'm just going to pull all the cars out, actually, just for the sake of time. Get them all out, at least out of the package here. Then we'll take a look at them one by one. Alright, so let's start with this Merc. I really do like the color on it. It's definitely an improvement over that pukey looking matte gold one that they had out in the Mercedes series. Not a huge Mercedes fan, but this car is kind of cool. The tooling's kind of cool. I like that the wheels are just black. I think the way that they made this look, and of course it's got tampos in the right places, is them in the front and in the back, exactly where you want them and nowhere else. And I think that's good. That's good. Very good. So I like that one a lot. The next one is UTE. This thing is just fantastic. Do they put scales in the bottom of these anymore? The Holden UTE, they do not. I don't see a scale on the bottom of this one. But again, look at that. It's really cool. It's in purple, this metal flake purple. The wheels look great. The whole thing looks awesome. The tampos look great in the front. It's got detail on the back. I mean, what more can you ask for from a cheap car? Matchbox, again, I mean, and I mention it almost in every video that I show Matchbox. Matchbox knows what they are doing right now. And they're making some really nice little collectible die-cast replicas. And I just think they're doing a great job with it. And this is no exception right here, this Holden. So this looks really good. And then this Porsche. Not my favorite Porsche casting, mainly because it's a 4-door Porsche. But again, you really can't argue with that. It looks quality. I mean, look at the front end of this thing. Headlight tampos look really good. You got a tiny little Porsche logo right there on the front. Really tiny. And then in the back, you get the taillights, the Panamera logo. You get a license plate, which see you later. That's pretty cool. So Nice little personalized license plate. Did these all have cool stuff in the back? This SLR 206. What does this one have? Oh, just the SSV. But really, really cool. See you later. And then Camaro convertible. Not a huge fan of the newer Camaros, but as a tooling and a casting, they did an excellent job. And what does it say? Fast orange. It's a very nice color, orange. And again, we have tampos in the correct places, and you really can't argue with the value there. It's really nice, both as a toy and a collectible. So really, really cool. And then you got this one, this Plymouth Cuda. The stance looks a little weird on this one. It looks a little bit too high. But I still think it looks good. Really nice in blue. And then again, we got, look at that tampo in the front. And these are $1 cars, guys. $1 cars. And they do such a good job with them. Such a good job. All right, so there's modern Matchbox. So this is kind of just the opposite. Then you get some older Matchbox, and this is 2000, early 2000s, late 90s kind of era. Storm Trackers. So again, I'm probably just going to pull all these out. Okay, so these are going to have some wacky tampos on them, no doubt, because of what they are. So this is XT. What does that say? What does that even say? It doesn't say teams. Whatever. Action radar. This is a VW bus. Has suspension. That's cool. Do they bring that back maybe? Should they bring that suspension back? I think they should. And those castings that have opening doors and stuff that they're coming out with. Yeah, regardless, pretty cool. Little VW bus. Another action radar. This is kind of a wacky casting. It's like the news team thing. It's got the... I gotta assume that's a camera up top. But pretty interesting little truck. Not super into that one, but kind of cool. VW Beetle. You guys know I probably collect it because it's a Beetle, right? It's an old Beetle. And I like the old Beetle stuff. So yes, this one definitely will be going into the collection. And I will be keeping this one. I give the stuff I don't really want to keep or whatever to my son to play with nowadays, or throw it in a box to just give away at some other time. But this one will go into the collection because it is a Volkswagen Beetle. And then you got this truck, which is a Ford F-150. It's hard to read it on the bottom of this base, but yeah, it's an F-150. It's like a 90s F-150. No suspension on this tooling. This tooling is kind of whack. Really basic looking, not great, but okay. And then this tooling's awesome, and this is the real reason why I even wanted this, actually, to be honest with you, is this really cool Chevy Blazer. That's what this one is, the Chevy Blazer. But I think it was a Bronco. It's got suspension. It's got this really cool whip antenna thing going on. Action radar. That's awesome. That's a cool truck. This is an older tooling. This tooling's been around for quite a long time, I believe. Let's see if we got a copyright date on here. I think that says 83. So yeah, that's an older one. You can always tell how old the tooling is by the copyright date. This has scale on it too. This is a 1/75th scale. And I can't find the copyright date. It's just hard to read in all that chrome. The Beetle is 155 scale. Copyright date 1998. So that's a fairly newer tooling. Well, newer in comparison to this one. So this is like 83. That's a cool truck. If you wanted to make customs, this would be a cool one to do it with. All right, so we probably should hurry up here and do some Speed Blur. So this is the new Speed Blur 5-pack from Hot Wheels. Gotta say that Mattel knows what they're doing with this one. They're going to sell a ton of these 5-packs, and they knew they could put some garbage cars in here and still sell them. But you gotta kind of like be like, why did you guys do that? It's kind of a jerk move. Like, really? You know, someone that's going to be into the Datsun Bluebird 510 wagon is not going to be like into this thing. Whatever this is, some sort of Dodge concept car or something like that. That thing's not cool. And then the corkscrew, I mean, I guess you can argue that this is kind of a cool tooling. I mean, if you wanted to. But that will go in the play bin for sure, along with this weird pink one. Maybe I'll save the pink one and give it to my daughter. And then this is another one that's, it would be cool if it was larger. This is the customized C3500, but obviously it's not to scale. This truck in real life, I believe, would have dualies and would be much bigger. And just as goofy looking because it's so small compared to some other Hot Wheels. Just goofy. And then, of course, the star of the show. This is the reason why people are buying this 5-pack, is this Hot Wheels Datsun Bluebird 510 wagon. This one is a waffle grill. I don't know if you're going to find smooth grill variations in this stuff anymore. I don't think they really have the smooth grill anymore. I could be wrong, but so if anybody finds one, let me know. Kind of a cool looking wagon though. I like the color that it's like this dark gray, and then the wheels are actually gray. They're not black, so they kind of match the body of the car, which kind of gives it an interesting look. So kind of dig it. Kind of neat. Let me know what you guys think. And so yeah, that's the star of the show. And then we'll just quickly go through this, just comparing an old 5-pack. Probably didn't need to add these 5-packs to this video because, again, we ended up making a long one. But some pretty cool cars here. Porsche. Of course, I collect it. It's a Porsche. Corvette. Don't collect it. This Toyota MR2. I actually do collect this casting. It'd be nice to have all the variations of it. There's quite a few weird ones out there. Again, this one is another one where there's kind of a lot of weird ones out there. This Lamborghini Countach 25th anniversary. And then this cool Land Rover is pretty neat too. That's a cool casting. The Land Rover. So as you can see, these are flag flyers, so they have flags involved with them. This one being the British flag. This one, I believe that's what it is. This one would be USA, Team USA. This one would be Team Italy. This one would be Team Japan. And this one would be Team Germany, right? So that's what those are. And whatever. Hot Wheels definitely had a period in the 90s, early 2000s, where stuff they were doing was pretty whack. You know, I don't think a lot of it's didn't really stand the test of time for collectors and wasn't really popular for very long. I think the stuff that they're doing now, especially the Matchbox stuff or stuff that Hot Wheels is doing with licensed models and stuff like that, definitely will have some staying power in comparison to this era of Hot Wheels, where we got just some really whack graphics and just some really wacky stuff going on that just wasn't really, I don't know. People don't really care about it now. All right, so that's going to be it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching another long Diecast weekly episode. I appreciate all the time you guys put into watching these videos. I really appreciate it, and thank you very much for watching. Have a great week, guys. Peace.